The bill that was sponsored by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, to criminalize not voting in an election has passed a second reading in the House of Representatives, thereby drawing attention to the fact that it appears the National Assembly is determined to push ahead with that bill, despite serious condemnation of the bill by the Nigerian public, including many opinion leaders in this country. Because when this bill was initially read during its first reading, several people kicked against it because this is a bill that wants to criminalize non-voting. So if you don't vote, you'll be jailed for 6 months, or you pay a fine of 100,000 naira if you don't vote in local and national election. Their argument is that they want every Nigerian to see voting as a civic responsibility that must be carried out. Now, when this bill initially came up during the first reading, it was challenged by non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, particularly Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP. SERAP has described, at that time described this as oppressive. So, because of that, SERAP wrote an open letter to the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and the House Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, who sponsored it, to withdraw this bill, arguing that it violates the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the international human rights obligations. The organization, that is SERAP, argued that jailing citizens for not voting undermines democratic principles and called for focus on tackling electoral offenses like vote buying and voter suppression by high-ranking officials. Now, instead of withdrawing the bill as demanded by SERAP, the bill has now gotten to the second reading, which shows that the National Assembly is determined to push ahead with this bill to impose it on Nigerians that they must vote in an election. So this has again also drawn criticisms from a lot of other people who have been silent about it, including Shehu Sani, former senator that represented Kaduna Central in the National Assembly, using his Twitter handle, official verified Twitter handle, to say that that bill is unnecessary. The bill to sentence a Nigerian of adult age from 18 and above who did not vote in an election, to sentence him to 6 months imprisonment or pay a fine of 100,000 naira is unnecessary. And I totally agree with those who felt insulted about this bill. Of all the problems we have in this country, this is the only bill that they think they need to do in the National Assembly to help democracy. If they do not know, the reason why Nigerians don't want to go out to vote is because most of them who are political leaders, including those of them in the National Assembly and everywhere, they were rigged into power. People were fed up with INEC determining who becomes what in Nigeria, outside of what the people themselves voted for. That is basically the truth. Nigerians are fed up with INEC and the political class who rig the election with reckless abandon. Let me give you a typical example. When INEC gave a hint that they are ready to do transparent election ahead of the 2023 election, they said that there will be electronic transmission of result, that you can be in your room and be watching the votes as they are dropping. You'll be viewing the INEC archive live, that they have eliminated manual counting of votes and everything else. Didn't you see how millions of Nigerians rushed to go and vote, to go and register? Because they were encouraged, because INEC, just by saying that they are going to conduct transparent election, it spurred a lot of young Nigerians to rush to go and vote. Now, what happened? The political class, the APC, connived with INEC, and rubbish the expectation of the Nigerian people. That was why, after the rubbish that INEC did during the presidential election, where they deliberately switched off the transmission of the result, during the governorship election, you saw total voter apathy. People were no longer interested in the election. It was a betrayal. A betrayal, total betrayal of Nigerian people by the INEC. Therefore, it is not a question of people not wanting to vote. It is because people know that the whole thing has now been structured in such a way that the outcome has been predetermined. So why do you waste your time to go and vote when you already know that your vote does not matter? It is INEC that will determine. INEC will determine whether they will do it manual, depending on the body language of the candidate they are supporting. If the candidate is not likely to win, if they see that electronic transmission of results is not favoring their preferred candidate, they switch it off. Then they say, we are going to do manual. Is that a country that has any moral right to vote, to tell candidates, Nigerians, that they should be jailed for not voting when the votes don't count? In any case, even if the votes count, you have no right to compel anybody to go out to vote. Those that have gone out to vote, what have they benefited? The leaders that are there now under the so-called democracy, what is the benefit to the Nigerian people? I think Nigerians should resist this tendency for the political class to operate as if they are a military regime. Because the way this government is going on, they are making Abacha look like even much more democratic than them. This is because this is an issue that nobody is interested in it, except these people in the National Assembly. No reasonable Nigerian is bothered about this. In fact, if there is anything Nigerians are interested in, if there are things Nigerians are interested in, it is to ensure that the 2023 presidential election is transparent, is not rigged, and that electronic transmission of result must be made compulsory. And it must be, as INEC stipulated ahead of 2023 election, it must be on the INEC archive must be 24 hours on as voting started, and it must not close until the last man voted in Nigeria. That should be the area of concern to the National Assembly lawmakers, to ensure that the Electoral Act is amended to block all the loopholes that they themselves and the APC used in rigging 2023 election. That should be the paramount. If they truly want Nigerians to participate in the election, let them conduct free and fair election in 2027. They will see explosion of registration, explosion of participation in subsequent election. If only they can conduct 2027 presidential election transparently, electronically, without switching it off for whatever reason. There will be explosion of voting, people ready to vote in 2031. Unless that one is done, they have no moral right to be pushing ahead, jailing Nigerians for not voting. In any case, even if INEC suddenly turns transparent, people will be motivated to go and vote, but they should not be compelled to go and vote, and if they don't vote, they will be jailed. Where is that done anywhere in the world? Which democracy did they copy that? We are practicing presidential system of government, which we copied from United States. Where in the world, in America, did they see that people being jailed for not voting? Even in America, there are challenges. Many people are not even voting, despite the fact that their system is far more transparent than our own. Many Americans are still expressing low voter turnout because of people losing confidence in people they voted for, going to Washington and doing what they did not send them to go and do. So that's my take. I don't know what you think about this accusation by the Speaker of the House of Representatives that Nigerians must be made to vote by fire by force. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel or not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.